Nothing is more beautiful or innocent than a child. Although children are very dependent on their guardians or their parents. So whoever is in charge of them or is taking care of them, they're very responsible for what happens to a child. All ages are reliant, from toddlers to children to even teenagers. I'll mostly be talking about toddlers and infants today, but their caretakers are responsible if something happens and they get in harm's way. Well, watching and reading the news and doing thorough research on children dying in hot cars is what I'll be talking about today, and I feel qualified through the news articles that I've gone through and being updated in research and how many children have been dying this year, it's actually been the most it's ever been this summer. I also believe that children being left in a car, whether it was an accident or not, there should be jail time. I'll be talking about a child being left in the car and if a parent was getting consequences or not, why there should be jail time, and then a child being left in the car equaling jail time. So, mutual reports on guardians who left kids and didn't get in trouble. That's what I'll be talking about first. So, an article by the Huffington Post was named, the title of the article was "This Can Happen to Anyone." It explains that there was a parent who left their child in a car, and her spouse had a miscommunication about it, and neither of them had brought the child in. So later, when they discovered this, the child was dead in the car. They claim in the article that this can happen to anyone, whether you're any ethnicity or age or however many children you've had an experience. This can happen to any parent. Guardians claim that this is an accident and that they live with the guilt forever, and that should be their punishment enough. But they still harmed the child, and even if the child didn't die in the car, they could still be going through heat stroke or seizures, which could obviously lead to death. So it doesn't make sense to me why parents who are charged with negligence because they don't feed their child or they beat their child or they don't pick up their children places and people call CPS, why they get sent to court with negligence, but someone whose child actually dies isn't charged with anything. So a child negligence case will always result in CPS and charges. So why would leaving your child in a hot car to suffer not apply in court as the same thing? An article by Very Well Kids warns dangers and precautions to parents, what you can take and what steps you can take to avoid any of this. They actually give a small checklist about leave a stuffed animal in your front seat of your child so you know your child's back there, or leave your purse in the back seat. So there's obviously a bunch of things that you can do to avoid these things that happen, yet children are still dying by parents who accidentally leave them in the car. Guardians can communicate better. First off, if these things are commonly happening where guardians get a mix-up and they both later find their child dead in the car, well, why is no one communicating better? Why not you yourself go check on where the kid is at, or the child is saying where you guys said you were going to keep them? Don't get distracted. There should be no excuses. I read in this same article, it talks about how a parent got distracted by something on the TV. Okay, your child's in the car, so first thing you should do, take the child out of the car, then go unload the groceries. Children die every single day in the summer because of this. So if there's easy things you can do to avoid this, why would you not? The checklist is easy again. So if one cannot handle this, why would the parent not be charged with negligence? It's so easy and simple that, I mean, if you wouldn't do everything you can to not put your child in harm's way, why would you not get charged if this child died? Personal experience of this horrific event can show it's easy, but that it can be avoided. An article on CNN that I read was a woman whom and her husband were at the grocery store, and they got their buggy and went inside, and shortly after realized their child was in the car and ran out and got the child, the child was okay. She said she was flushed. So she talks about how she lives with the guilt every day. Well, we already discussed this, so living with the guilt every day should not be punishment enough, because what if the child would have died? She simply forgot her kid in the car. So if the child dies, how would that not be manslaughter? That would be forgetting to feed your kid or forgetting to go pick your child up from somewhere. So they were also discussing a case of the same thing happening, a child died in the car, and police were investigating if it was an accident or a murder. Well, in my opinion, either way it's murder because it's all caused by negligence, whether it was intentional negligence or not intentional negligence. It's your responsibility to deal with your kid and to take care of your kid and to watch after your kid. So if you forget them and they're in a car and it becomes easily 130 degrees in the car and they die, how would that not be your fault? Yes, accidents happen, but it's your child, so you should be able to be responsible enough a parent to take care of them. So I definitely think the guilt would be enough, yes, but you should also be charged with something because you did take a human life. So this takes too many lives every year and can be avoided with, again, extra really easy precautionary measures. So in my conclusion, either it's intentional or it's not, but punishment, proving it can be avoided, and jail time should all be a result of this happening. So if easily precautions can't be taken and you can't go the extra mile to make sure that nothing happens, then something should happen to you. I encourage you to think about the repercussions that need to be given, so next time you're watching a news report or reading something on CNN or online, make sure you think about how that parent should have been punished and if they were punished, because it is, again, easily to avoid. So next time you see anything like that, just think about it.